PDAC2015, and I'm with Stephen Wilkinson, who's the CEO and Director of Falcon Gold Corporation, a multi-metal company in both Washington and Nevada. Welcome, Stephen.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for having me to Canada.
Oh, it's a pleasure.
Now tell me, you've got a couple of projects and it's a multi-metal mix. Can you just outline those two projects and what they are?
Oh, I'll start with the oldest one, and that's the Washington Silver property. It's located very close to Republic, Washington, where Kinross has been mining and milling ores for several decades. And of course, they're in the search for more ore, which gives us a commodity that might be worth something. It's a past-producing mine. It was called the Silver Bell Mine at the time. Open pit operation. There is an adit. Some very good grades, and what we're doing is we're expanding the resource base to try and make it look attractive to somebody like a Kinross that would like to come in and have feed for their mill. And it was the primary property for Falcon until we fell upon the opportunity to acquire the New York Canyon Copper Project in
Nevada.
In Mineral County. It's got the perfect address and the perfect location and quite a suite of minerals too.
Now this was historically a producing copper mine with grades of 5% copper.
That's correct. During the period leading up to World War I, when the Allies needed a good source of metals, this was perfect because it was high grade, at surface, easily accessible.
Lots of infrastructure. And
infrastructure with a highway there at the time, power, railway too, which was right on site. So it was direct shipped right to smelters. And by the end of the Second World War, I think they'd taken out in the order of 8 million pounds of copper, from those high grade chutes.
It just seems to me that there are a lot of brownfield opportunities where the rich ore was taken, and then it's been sleeping for a number of years, and you're saying pre-war. And now you're coming back with modern technology, and as we're coming up, we were just discussing your magnetics are showing some other kinds of mineralization or signals.
Oh, absolutely. There's been a series of exploration pushes that started about 1970 with modern stage, let's call it, types of exploration, started by Conoco and led through a number of other iterations, ultimately completed by Canyon Copper Corporation. In those times, it was discovered that there's a variety of mineralization styles centered around porphyry copper deposits, very similar to the Yarrington Belt that's just to the north of us. But what wasn't really looked upon was what is the real potential in other metals and within what I'll call the gross volume of the property. It was well known from the historic mining that there were 5 areas of high-grade exposure, of which there's still abundant occurrences, but they were just the surface expressions of the porphyry unit plus the skarn rocks, the altered rocks that were around the intrusive, which also carried mineralization. In June last year, when we were in the final stages of negotiation and completing due diligence, our team went down. I joined them. I'm a geologist originally, and we sampled about 20 of the mineral occurrences on both sets of the claim groups who were there, including the 5 patents, and made just a discovery that just changed our attitude towards the property entirely. It's not just a copper property or a porphyry. It's not or even an oxidized copper. It's a polymetallic, and what I mean by that is there are economic concentrations of metals, primarily copper, which would be maybe 30 to 40% of the metal value. Molybdenum was already known on site. There was known to be a little gold and a little silver, but not to the degree we've found.
So you found a fair bit of gold in that copper?
Yes, and in fact, by the time you look at this thing, this could be looked upon as possibly a gold-silver mine.
Right.
Or you can say, well, maybe it's a copper moly zinc mine. Okay. There's almost as much zinc value as there is copper in the shortings.
It is an unusual system because normally you associate copper and gold with an ASCG.
Exactly.
So the signatures are telling you that there's other material there. That sounds very exciting.
Yep.
Stephen, so you've got a website, falcongoldcorp.com?
.ca.
It's .ca.
Yes.
And you're trading on the TSX Venture under the symbol FG.
Yes.
Stephen, thank you very much for coming along.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure being here. Thank you.